Time for what, L?
Don't worry about all that.
Okay.
Fix it up.
Lights.
Yo, Johnny, man, you there?
Else in the house. We got a really packed panel tonight. We got all the Hollywood squares, and I don't know. Maybe there will be some forks thrown tonight. Like that could get interesting. Since we're of course talking about Joseph, what are we talking about tonight?
Oh, Joseph.
We're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about The Bear, the Hulu original series. And we're gonna be discussing both seasons, season 1 and season 2, which just dropped about maybe 2 months ago, a month ago. So we'll be doing full spoilers, talking about the 2 seasons of that. So we have a pretty full panel tonight, so it should be a pretty good discussion.
Everybody seems to like the show. It's a very good show, and but we got a couple of new faces in the house, a couple returning. So we're gonna let everybody kind of introduce themselves really fast, starting with Dylan. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm Dylan from Edmonton. I did a comic recently called Metalhead Samurai. Just got my fancy new T-shirts in the mail. Yeah.
Nice. And you're actually working on a new project, the SNFU Tales.
Yeah, me and Adrian Kolaric, who made Dracovi, we got permission from one of the founding members of SNFU. So we're doing a comic book based on the first album of that band.
Very cool.
Sweet.
You can go, I think you guys set up an Instagram for the book itself. You could go follow Dylan or Adrian to keep follow the progress of that project as it's progressing. And
SNFU.tales.
yeah. And the first cover, the cover for this issue is a pretty nice one. Dylan's been sharing his progress as it's going. It's pretty sick, so it's worth going to check out.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
All right. Senior Saint, would you like to introduce yourself?
Shit, I'm sorry. I was deciding if I should respond to the message that was on the bottom of the screen. Hi, I'm Saint. From the internet. I do a podcast with Elle called Here We Connect, and another one with my cousin called Cuzzos. I've been binging The Bear all day. I'm on episode 5 of season 2, but I don't mind spoilers, so I'm excited.
Did you watch episode 5 yet, or are you at episode 5?
I just started it right before.
Oh no!
I'm ready for it.
No
And
one
as soon as
would
we get
wanna
off,
talk
I'm going
about
right back into it. So I'm still pretty excited to watch it.
So close to that one episode.
Yeah. Oh, you got something good to look forward to. Let me just tell you that.
Absolutely.
But like Saint said, I'm going to go ahead and address this. Yeah, I don't see why it's an unpopular opinion. I think the first season is incredible. I think that is the reason why everybody loves the show so much. And the second season really carries it home. Like it grabs the flag and just runs with it. But if that first season wasn't as incredible as it was, like we wouldn't be here tonight. Like it really is a mind-blowing season.
I thought it was really good. I was really upset it took me so long to watch it because as fast as I went through it and as good as it was, as soon as they found that money, I was like, oh, they can do whatever they want. And I was really excited. Like I sat up because I was laying down. I was super excited for what I was telling Elle not to talk too much. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it, but I was crying earlier.
You actually have a podcast that you do with Elle, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, Here We Connect. I give her a platform to verbally abuse me on that.
Oh, well.
Here We Connect.
She takes naps on that show too, right? From what I understand.
I did.
The lost episode.
Yeah, I told him I might have mentioned the lost episode and how I just happened to wake up in the
There's a
was
lot
over.
of drunk episodes too. She makes me.
I'm
One
like,
morning we
delete
recorded.
this now or
The
never
first thing
talk
she
to me
said
again.
was delete everything. We
I did.
scrap it. We'll redo it. I don't want it. She said, don't even take clips, just the whole thing.
He was like, I'm gonna use some parts for a trailer. I said, delete everything.
Burn all the evidence.
Well, we now the order is not the same anymore. So I guess we'll continue with Phil because now the order got messed up. But whatever, we keep going. So introduce yourself, Phil, man. What you got going on? What you doing? What you all about?
Well, what I'm all about this evening, I guess first and foremost, my name is Phil. I'm known as Philly Phil to many. I also am known to be live streaming always from my sanctuary of the basement of my house. Tonight is sponsored by Miller High Life.
Yeah.
If you do have the time, we always have the beer. So,
Now we do more.
if you ever see me do any of these lives, I don't host. I'm always just forever in debt and grateful to be honored to be a guest on now the Pink Buzz. Done shows with Elle and Tara and with Cookie before, JP as well. I'm kind of just I get passed around like the village bicycle from time to time.
And you never wipe the seat.
Never wipe the seat.
That's for the flavor.
And I always make sure to kiss the door handle on my way out. Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Pleasure. Glad you're here. Next up, someone who needs no introduction. She's been on the show quite a few times. Elle, man, what's going on?
I'm Elle, relatively new cousin of Joe. Little ancestry there.
Yeah.
I do Here We Connect with Saint, a podcast. I do maybe once every 6 months I'll be on House of Nerd show. And Pink Buzz, I'm around in nowhere, and I do For One Night Only. Which coming up we have courtesy of Cookie, Breakfast Club on August 27th.
Sick.
26.
It's Sunday.
No, 27. Sorry, you're right.
27th?
Sunday's on the 27th. Yeah.
We'll be doing a Breakfast Club episode, and I'm around.
Nice. All right, so we already did Saint, so we'll skip over Saint and go right to Tara. How's it going, Tara?
Hey, so I'm Tara, and I know these guys from, well, I don't want to go all into our background because we know each other from more than just here, but I'm happy to be with you tonight. And I can also be found a little bit like Phil around, but besides hanging with these guys, I have For One Night Only with Elle, and I'm really excited about our Breakfast Club situation as well, and also part of the NPod crew like Joey is with our friend Spanky.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
Very good.
It's not alfalfa, it's Spanky.
It's Spanky. Can I toss it up to Lorraine?
Juanito, it's up to you, man. How you doing?
Put the cup down, Juan. Time to talk.
Juan, kill it.
Well, my name is AP. I'm passed around also. And, well, I am.
Support group meets later.
That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. You can go check out Juan on Instagram, and he posts some pretty good longboard sessions in parking lot. Yeah, and parking garages and stuff, man. Those are some pretty sweet videos. So you can go check
always outside.
I'm gonna be off commission for like 2 months because I'm not gonna risk it because it's still really sensitive.
You say that now. You know you're
No,
lying.
no. I really want to keep going, so I need to be careful and not just putting pressure just for 2 months. But I really want. I'm gonna be safe. I swear, I'm doing good on this. That's why I want to keep going.
Yeah, gleam that cube, Juan.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, we gotta do an episode on gleaming the cube.
Listen, I'm 100% in on that.
Oh my God. Yes.
Please put me spot on that.
All right, next up, hey. I think the popping the pills worked. We got sick boy here, Adrian, in the house.
Holy fuck! I filled my Force Awakens cup like full here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Got Adrian, man. Adrian's working on The Sitter, his next book, and he's also Dylan's partner, one of Dylan's partners in crime on the SNFU Tales.
Yes.
So, how's it going, Adrian, man?
It's going good. So I've started doing stripograms this summer. So
Okay.
mostly seniors' homes, right? I find it's yeah. No. Yeah. So. Fuck. Yeah. So
you just show up in one of your little tracksuits.
What?
Just go to
I do. Tearaway pants, right? Right.
Flicking lit cigarettes at him, fucking while he's dancing.
But you know what? I come in with like a bench, right? And basically, like I do this whole basketball routine, like on the sixth man, right? So I come off the bench, take off my tearaway pants, right? You know, I kind of just do some stretches on the sidelines, kind of thing, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, my name's Adrian. I make comics, and my current book I'm working on is called The Sitter. And I don't know. That's really about it. So I'm here to talk about the bear.
Nice. And last but not least, we have Cookie. How's it going, Cookie?
Hi.
Give the people the
good.
lowdown on. Yeah. So Halloween's coming. You're excited about that, right? So am I.
I'm so excited. I'm planning and plotting.
Yeah. You rock Halloween with all your makeup and your themes and this and that. So I can't wait to see what you come up with this year. So
It's my thing. I'm excited.
So if you're ever gonna follow Cookie on Instagram, it's coming. You better get on that. Follow her now because October
September
is
to October.
Yeah, it's Cookie month. Yeah, those are her months to shine, man. Like,
yes. Everything else
you
is
do a great
bullshit.
job. Yeah, you do a great job on all your makeup, but especially October is a treat. So yeah.
Get ready. It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that you posted you already started your shopping.
Yeah, Amazon. One of the Amazon reps is getting on you trying to help her.
I'm like, this is not. I am not an idiot. I know where it is. It's not there. I was getting so heated. I'm glad you noticed one. Thank you.
I saw that. All right, let's get this party started.
I was so pissed.
Okay, so we're all here, and this is a good turnout. So this just shows us how much everyone loves the bear because I think this is the best turnout when we sent a shout out saying we're going to talk about the bear, and it's like unanimously everyone wanted to get in on it. So and it shows we're like, how many are we tonight? Or
we crew deep.
I think we're a full house. I don't think we could add anyone else, even if we wanted to. Yeah, so that's it. We're full. We've got a full panel, and we're going to be talking about the Bear season 1 and 2. So yeah, so who you want to do the intro to this, Johnny, or what's
yeah?
How are we going to go about it here?
I don't know. I figured we talk about like kind of what we think is makes the show so important and so special. You know what I mean? Because like there's a lot of good shows. This is a good time to be watching TV, but like this one just hits so much harder and is like, I don't know, so much more entertaining than the rest. So I just kind of want to get into people's heads and find out why they like it as much as I do. You know what I mean? Because what their reason for really digging into it is.
Okay, so I guess we could go around and do the panel and just first impressions of the first time you watched it. We would just give quick impressions and we can go into more detail, I guess, after. So, yeah, man, Dylan, what's first impressions of this show? Like, why do you like it so much?
Richie's the best. Richie fucking rules. I just realized like 2 minutes ago, Richie played Microchip from the Punisher series.
Yes.
And I love that series. I loved Microchip in that. And apparently he's rumored to be the actor's rumored to play the Silver Surfer, which is
okay.
That's got my vote.
Wow.
I don't know. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But dude, Richie's the man.
He's gonna be going up.
So special for me.
I'm up to Reed Richards.
He's gonna go up to Galactus. Cousin, I need purpose. Cousin, give me some purpose. Go find me worlds to eat. On it. I've got it.
Hey, Galactus, I'm not in Van Halen because I'm like this. I'm like this because I'm in Van Halen. I just want
Awesome.
to say that now.
Yeah. Richie's redemption storyline in the second season was probably
so good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And relatable because, I became a Swiftie because of my daughter. So it was nice to see that I wasn't the only parent who got converted.
Yo, Saint, was that you playing L snoring?
No, I think that's Adrian's dog.
And you know what? I thought this was okay, cousin. I thought this was a safe place. Guess it's not. I'm out. Bye.
A couple burps too.
I thought he was trying to diss you and just pulled up the audio.
Wow. And you know what? Let that be the last time I share any private information with you. You really a cousin now because only a cousin would tell my business like that.
Hey, we already said it at the beginning, no?
Yeah, but I didn't say I was snoring.
Oh, everyone snores. I mean, come on.
Like that though? You're listen, Adrian.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard the audio. I don't know how you snore. No one's seen this.
Say, I assume you've deleted said.
Internet is forever.
He sent one time off topic, but one time he sent me like an audio file of all the times I said on the podcast.
Oh.
And I said, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah. Cookie, what's quick first impressions like of that first season when you first discovered this show? What was your initial reactions to it?
Well, when I first watched it, everybody else was talking about it, saying how awesome it was, and I was like, because I hate Hulu. I hate watching anything on Hulu.
You hate Hulu?
Mostly, yes, because the ads are so loud.
No, agree. I do agree with you. Okay.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, like Carmi's talking so nice, and then bam, Viagra. It's
Okay, so you guys have ads on Hulu.
Yeah, I don't pay for ad free.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because in Canada, the only way we can get it is through Disney, which you don't have the ads, so we don't.
I have Disney, no ads.
I don't have ads.
I have Disney, ESPN, and Hulu, but I only have ads on Hulu.
The Hulu. Okay.
Yeah, there's no ads on ESPN and.
You watch a lot of ESPN?
Nope, sure don't. I watch 30 for 30. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
the documentary. Yeah, I like that. I like the documentary series, but that's the only thing I watch on there.
Don't lie, you watch golf on ESPN.
Golf is on ESPN. It's a sport.
It's on the Ocho, I think.
So the commercials kind of put you off, but
yeah, no, but everybody was like, "This is a great show." So I was like, "Okay, it's food, it's drama.
Yeah.
Like, I'll like it." And I love food, so that I enjoyed. And as a person who suffers from panic attacks, I like feeling anxious in a safe space. And this show does it for me.
They do it well. Yes, they do it well.
Yeah. Yes, like the tension is always up, always. So that's one of my favorite things about the show. So, yep.
Phil, man, the first time you loaded this up, started streaming it, what was your reactions the first times you watched it?
I off the rip was just like, wow, this is a pretty star-studded, or just like a familiarity with like all the characters in the show, just recognize them from shows or movies in the past, and I just thought they pulled like a lot of star power into it. And then it was just like we said before we went live, just like how fast-paced it goes, but like it just kind of feels like very relatable, in like a maybe not necessarily just like only if you've worked in like the food industry, but just like a day in, day out, family relatable. Just, I mean, everything about it was just like, I'm kind of upset that there was just only 2 seasons so far to watch, and they like just those. You just get enthralled by like all the drama, action, kind of everything that's going on, and every character is not like just kind of this is the cousin and that's it. Like you get like the full, everyone's involved. So it was just like a really like not one episode and watch. It was like I watched one season and then like 2 days later knocked out like the second season, and it was just it had me my attention. So it's just a damn good show.
Yeah. I hear you. Even the supporting characters get their time to shine on the show and everything. So
yeah,
for sure. I feel you on that one. They do a great job with that. Elle, how about you? Your first reactions the first time you tuned into this show?
Well, I was an early adopter.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it when it first came on, the first season, and I didn't know what I was getting into. And then quickly I realized, is this what my mental illness looks like on screen? Just constant noise and constant talking over each other. And it was like oddly relatable because, I grew up in that kind of household where it was just people talking over each other constantly. And so that one episode on season 1, that everybody is like, did you see that episode? The one that's, the one. And I was like, that sounds like my house every day when I was growing up, to be honest. And
was that episode 6?
Something like, and then even season 2 with the dinner, I was like, this is relatable because this is legitimately what it sounded like growing up in my house. And so especially with my mom.
Oh my gosh.
So unfortunately, if you're listening, I doubt it, but sorry to you. But shout out to my cousin Joe. But yeah, it was like it was such like a uniquely encapsulated like thing that released at its time. And I was like, this is just fantastic, and nothing touched it that year, I feel. Nothing came close to it. It was so unique. Even this season was fantastic, like nonstop watch. But yeah, I 10 out of 10 both seasons.
Nice. Same. I know you're working your way through season 2, but you binged season 1 in fairly quick fashion.
The entire thing today. I started episode 1 a bunch of times, just kept putting it off other shows and getting busy. But today, she mentioned it this morning just randomly, and I was like, nothing else to do. I'm finished Criminal Minds, so I started watching it, and everything, what Phil said, everything's super relatable. Like, this is exactly what I would think what would be happening. People sitting there getting each other's way, like Elle said, talking over each other, the fights, the disrespect. Like, I even texted her, I don't like Tina. And she's like, shut up, she's a sweet baby angel. And like, I'm like, I love Tina so fucking much. She's my favorite. So like,
yeah,
it was super easy to get into. I love food, love cooking, so I was able to, just see what they do and see how hard it is in the back of the kitchen. I never would want to do it.
Yeah, Tina's arc in the first season is one of my favorites. I love her story arc.
It was really good, and they did exactly like they put her in your face. I don't really like her, and just gradually she turns around. It was great. I love
that
it.
chef energy though too, because my older brother, he's a cook, he's a chef. Well, I hate to say that I called him a cook. If he finds out, don't tell him. But
I'm snitching.
But no, for real, that level of energy when I saw this show, I hit him up immediately, and I was like, "Y'all are exposed. This is really how y'all be acting. Throw in some more cigarettes, and this is true to life."
They need more substance abuse. You're right.
A little bit more substance abuse.
Yes, please.
Well, they touch on that a little bit in the second season, a little more.
Yes, they do.
All right, Tara, man. The first time you tuned into this show, what were your initial reactions? Let's say the first few episodes in. What were you thinking when you were watching this?
I was thinking, first of all, I couldn't get enough of it. Second of all, like some of you have said, it felt so seen, and I wasn't expecting that from this because I don't work in a kitchen. Well, formally, I work in this kitchen, but that doesn't count. But and I do have a cousin who's a chef too, so I feel like I want to talk to him about it. But yeah, it just felt so relatable, especially the family stuff and the anxiety stuff. And I just wasn't expecting it to be both entertaining and relatable like it was. It's great.
Yeah. For sure. Great show. Juan, man, what's up with you, man? What about you? I mean, you watch a lot of TV. You post a lot about it. So what were your reactions when you watched the first season of this show?
I told Dean about it because I saw the trailer, and then I saw the episodes, and I know Dean loves food and all that chef's table, so I told him about it. But the music on it, honestly, is what makes it so great. Like, I'm not a Chicago person, but that music makes you feel like you are part of the Chicago community, which you really aren't. But that's what I'm just an example. But it drives the episodes really great, especially how the camera angles, they go straight to the faces. Oh,
yeah.
But yeah. But the music is what I really loved about it.
Yeah. The music, I agree.
Good point.
That's
Good
one
point.
of my. That's going to be one of my points when I get back around to myself. Adrian, I know you love this show. I know you were one of the first ones. You and Dylan were like on it. Cookie as well. They're like, yes, let's do the bear, and everyone just jumped on it. So yeah, man, what were your first reactions when you first started tuning into this show?
It was a no-brainer tuning in because I love cooking shows, right? So like honestly, like in my top 10 movies all time, one of them was Burnt, right? Which is like a Bradley Cooper movie, which bombed. I'm not lying. I own 3 DVD copies of Burnt, right? I have the one I watch. I have a sealed one, right? And then my daughter works at a Game City, and there was a copy of Burnt on there, and I kind of joked about it, so she bought it for my birthday. So I have my 3rd copy of Burnt. I watch it probably weekly. So anything cooking related, whatever. And I used to work in a kitchen as well. So this was like, of course I'll jump into it, but a couple things that really hit me right away. Oliver Platt.
Yes.
Who's like one of my all-time favorite actors. And also to Matty Matheson, which was like a complete shock, right? So when I saw him coming, I'm like, no. And I found he was one of the producers as well. And I met Matty Matheson once before, right? And so the guy's awesome. So yeah, we were it was a private function. Okay. So we somehow got tickets to this, right? And so a quick little story. So so you know how he posts his old videos, he's cooking something, right? So he had one episode, he's in a really tiny apartment kitchen in Toronto. And so he cooks this lasagna. And this lasagna was like, so I follow this recipe pound for pound, right? And he didn't shred the cheese, the mozzarella, he just cut like sheets of it, right? So I made this thing and we had it, and this thing was like a dense brownie. It was so greasy, it was so thick, it was so dense. My family hated it. I loved it. So anyway, so we're at this private function. I go up to Matty Matheson, right? I'm like, hey, bro, like I made your lasagna from this whatever episode. He goes, yeah, that was just like, I just was not into that. He goes, that was the shittiest recipe. I just gave it. I was in a bad mood that day, and so he basically put out a botched recipe, right? And so, I thought it was fantastic. But anyway, so Oliver Platt, Matty Matheson, and then obviously the whole, the whole violence around within a kitchen, right? But I think the one thing for me was the family dynamics, the family drama, right? Because I write about family related stuff, and I got family related stuff, and so I find everything that happened there amongst the family was just way too close to home, right? And it married really well. It kind of married my two worlds together, right? So yeah, it was a no-brainer. It was an easy show to like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they use Maddie's also he's like a consultant for the show too.
Yeah,
they defer to him often for any kind of like little details about the
and he's so good. His acting is so good. He's so good. Natural, right?
Yeah. He's had 2 different shows on Vice as well, hasn't he?
I don't know. Really?
Yeah. He's had 2 shows on Vice. I'll have to look it back up, but he's had his Vice got with him to do a few shows. One was a cooking show, and another one was like a cooking adjacent show. Anyway, but Vice, their program is excellent. So anything
it feels like he was going off. Yeah, it feels like he was going off script too. It feels like there was a lot of improv, like between him and Cousin, right? Especially when he's like, say Mate. Say Mate,
He was on an episode of Selena and Chef too, which is a different demographic, but it's still cooking related. Still love cooking shows. Yeah.
Oh, that's his livelihood, right? So, yeah. All right, Johnny, man, we're up to you now, man. How did you react to this show when you first started watching it?
I was blown away. I didn't really know what to expect. it's kind of out of my wheelhouse for shows. I don't usually watch character dramas too often, but I just watched the movie Pig, and I was interested in seeing something else in that vein, and I heard this was kind of like that. And what really blew me away was how nuanced the characters are. Like each one of them, like they're jerks and then they're nice. It's not like a lot of other shows where, oh, this is a shitty character and this is the nice character. No, like they'll take either nice or shitty to each other, and it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You catch the nicest person on a bad day, they can be the biggest asshole, right? Like, I mean, yeah, I feel on that one. I like how the way they develop the characters. I completely agree with you on that one, Johnny, man. Yeah.
And it's oddly relatable. I mean, I'm not jockey or really like Richie at all, but there's just something about that character that just, I don't know, for dudes my age, I think just hits you right in the chest and makes you like, I know exactly how that dude feels. I may not be in his spot or as bad as he is, but like, dude, I know.
Oh, JP, I'm doing it back to you, friend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, chef. Straight up. And that's what really brought it home. And yeah, the soundtrack, season 1 kind of, but season 2, oh my God, whoever picked the music.
You're right. T Swizzle really elevated it, and
yeah. I was mad how much I liked that song when it was on by the end of the episode. I'm just saying.
like most people, like some people got on this right away, and I heard about it on like people were posting stuff on on Twitter or whatever. And because I live in Canada, we had to wait like maybe it's a 2-month delay before it gets dropped on from Hulu onto Disney. So I was just couldn't wait to get into this because I enjoy cooking, so I enjoy shows that have cooking as like the background theme to it, like the Servant. Was that what it was called on Apple TV? I think it's called The Servant, right? The Servant.
That's
anyway,
a cooking thing?
Yeah, he's a chef. They hire the nanny to come in.
Okay.
And they lost their baby. Anyway, he's a chef, so there's these scenes where he's just making these meals and just sometimes just simple like tomato, and it's beautiful the way they film these things, and I love that show for that, and the way they incorporate it into the drama of the story and everything. And man, excellent. And way back in the day when I was younger, there's I'm gonna kind of a callback to Adrian's Burn. Well, Bradley Cooper was in a show called Kitchen Confidential. And I love that show, and it got canceled after 1 season, and I was so disappointed.
Based on Bourdain's book?
Yeah, the Anthony Bourdain.
The book was awesome.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that show. Yeah, and it got canceled after 1 season. I was so disappointed. So when I heard about this show, I was so hyped for it. And right away, that opening scene where, okay, he's out on the street, and the show's called The Bear, and then like he's walking towards this cage, and you can hear a sound, and it's a bear. So I'm like, oh man, like, is it gonna be like fucking cheesy, like then the bear's there, then I'm like, what? It's called The Bear, and he's fucking facing a bear, right? And I was like, what the fuck is this fucking right? But then it cuts. Then fucking Refused New Noise kicks in. With the tension and the pressure's building up, and I just fucking, the hairs on my arms lifted. Like, it was perfect the way the music went with the mood, and I was hooked right there. After the first 5 minutes, I was like, I love this show, and that hooked me right when New Noise was playing, and then like he's in the kitchen and no one's listening, everyone's yelling, and it like, it was great. I was like, fuck, this is amazing. And right from there, that first episode, after the first 5 minutes, I was hooked. I was in. I was all in.
My parents, they always worked at restaurants, so that's how they talk in Spanish, cursing each other like that. So I was like, oh, I fucking love this. That's how they used to work. They don't curse each other anymore.
No, for real. Even as a parent, like there's a Isaiah knows there's a point where you tune your kids out, and so that's what I love about The Bear is like there's a point where you just have to tune everything out and just exist.
Yep.
And I hate to say that as a parent, but it's true. Like, no, I don't hear y'all. Other people hear y'all. I don't.
Again, relatable somehow.
All right. So what do you guys, now we'll just let you talk about we'll talk about season 1 right now. And what's your favorite thing about the first season? I mean, you want to go? We want to keep going by turn, since that we're a lot, or does someone want to just jump in? Or
Let's do the jumping.
okay,
The
so
sandwich episode.
the sandwich episode.
Yes.
Sandwich episode. What about the sandwich episode?
The one with the tickets. What was that? Episode 7.
Oh, the
one,
yeah.
the one that was an endless panic attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, after the risotto review. Yeah, that's okay.
Yes.
I like the birthday
Yes.
party episode. I like.
Yeah.
Look, when they showed the pill beside the thing, I said, no way, no fucking way he's gonna fucking do it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
that's great.
People were acting weird, and then I saw the kids pass out, and I said, no fucking way. And then we got it right. I dig it.
Are you mad at me? No, I'm kind of digging it.
He went about his thing. I was like, okay, all right.
But that sets up. That's a perfect setup, because that's where you first establish kind of Richie and Uncle Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
That's where you see the first beginnings of their relationship and where their relationship stands. And then they bring it home, like in the second season, right? Then you see like kind of like, especially with that episode 5, a lot of the dynamics are like, you see where they're rooted from, and like it's a callback
Where
to
that
that.
disappointment
So I
comes
love
from.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Actually, Saint texted me this morning, and he was like, Richie did not drug those kids. And he said, okay, not it being cool. And I feel like
That
he gave
episode was very
him the,
intense.
like, okay to be like, okay, maybe I can drug the kids next time they come over.
Those kids were out.
Take a nap.
That's it.
Making some of that NyQuil chicken from the internet. A couple
Hey, you know, I didn't realize actually. Sorry, I was just looking up the cast, and remember when Carmen was having that flashback to when he was working at that restaurant, and the chef walks up to him. You know, why so fucking slow? I didn't realize that's Joe McHale.
Joe
Yeah.
McHale.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like,
Yeah.
Who has his own cooking show, kind of,
Yeah,
Crime Scene Kitchen,
The crime scene.
which I fucking love. Yeah.
I love it too.
Good asshole in that show, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not
Is
his
it like a reality
canon?
show or a regular show?
Yeah, that's kind of like his thing.
Because I've been
Yeah.
watching him
Yeah.
since Soup.
Oh, the
what's it?
soup show. Oh,
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been watching him since I was a little kid, so I'm like, yeah, if he's not an asshole, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not canon.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was a little mean, but I gotta agree with him, dude. Carmi has some ugly tattoos, some really stupid.
Oh, so
Does
good.
he? Okay, so I never paid attention to his tattoos.
He's got like the sevens from a slot machine, and like I don't know, he looks
Because
like
he's
a,
lucky. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I don't know.
Really?
I
Let
agree,
me look it
defend-
up right now.
I agree with the chef that he has a.
the one thing I really liked season 1. It was kind of like really the background. A little slow burner was Marcus, like him slowly developing.
Yeah.
Baby
Him
Angel
developing into like a
Marcus.
pastry chef, right?
Yes.
You know, and then was
Yeah.
carried over into season 2 when he went to Amsterdam, right? And then he kind of
Yes.
had his like his moment too. And it's funny, like into season 2 when you had that Danish Sunday, and Carmen was about to try it out, and Sydney as well. And I was really, Sydney tried it. She's like, whoa, and then Carmen was he keeps talking to Marcus, right? And I the whole time, like, you gotta try this Danish Sunday. Try it, fucking Carmen, try it. And he finally whatever, and then he kind of points to him, and so yeah, so he's one of my favorite,
Yes,
storylines.
and
yeah.
his episode on season 2 was directed by Rami Youssef.
Oh,
I don't know if
really?
you guys, yes, the comedian. And when I
Yeah.
saw it, I said, this is such big Rami vibes. And I said, this is excellent. And just anytime it comes to Marcus, I'm automatically crying. I have a brother
Yeah.
named Marcus who is a chef. And
There you go.
I didn't mislabel him, if you're listening.
Yeah, he's one of the most likable characters for
The
sure.
cook.
So good.
Yeah.
So what I love
But
about
it's still
season-
Sid and Carmi forever. I don't care.
What I love about season
I don't
one
know.
was, like, basically the whole. What I love about season 1 is the whole thing was the whole family. You know,
Yeah.
all the friends, and then season
Yeah.
they basically start character developing all of them.
Yep.
That's what I'm free, especially Richie's.
All
that-
of them so good.
Yeah.
All of them individually, and it could have easily been like they're doing too much, like but no, literally every character had such an excellent arc on season 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But my one of my favorites, like I mentioned before, kind of echoes what Saint was saying, is Tina.
Tina, my
Tina,
sweet baby
like
angel.
Yeah.
she starts,
Also known as sugar.
she's stubborn, hard-headed. She doesn't want to know anything. This is the way we do it.
That's my mom.
Sabotaging people, and they just don't give up on her. And then when they're like,
True.
then she
When she
starts
was-
coming around.
I cried.
Where, yeah, like Sydney kind of having a hard time. Sydney doesn't give up to her. She stays on her, and then she's like, "This is what it's like when people believe in your potential."
Yep.
Like, and then she comes around like, "Okay, these people see something in me that I'm more than just another face, right?" And I love that part of the story. that revelation and her redemption kind of story all in one. Like, I thought that was so touching, and you're never too old to find yourself.
Never.
And I found that story with Tina is like she's pushing probably her 50s, probably.
Yeah.
And like she's just finding herself, finding her voice by the end of this first season at the age of like 50. And it's such a beautiful story. Like, it's never too late to reinvent yourself, right? So I love that.
Even Abraham, even with him, like, even for him losing his way and then finding his way back. And I'm sure there's probably some more politics involved in why he didn't take that test, like immigration and stuff. But just for him to even have come back on season 2, like to do the drive-through aspect,
window,
I was like, oh, crying. And then, Saint, you can attest, Tina being made Sue, bawling, crying.
Oh, yeah.
I said because she deserves it.
Exactly.
When Sid replaced whatever she burnt that one time, and she turned around and she was like, "Why'd you do that?" She was like, "Because I don't have time for your bullshit." I was like, "Wow." Okay, so that's what she's setting up. And after that, she was just so nice to her, and asked when she fell through the wall, she was asking how she was doing. I was like, "Okay, man." And then she asked that sous chef, balling. I had to pause and get my shirt and wipe a little bit because I was like,
Oh yeah.
And then that karaoke scene, man, that was.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, because she deserves it. And honestly, like, how cool is it to be at that age group and still be able to fit in with your peers and excel at what you're doing? Like, it's such a wholesome feeling when I saw that. I said, this is beautiful.
Yeah, especially in a restaurant too, right? Because there's always that assumption that it's a young person's game, right?
Yeah,
in a sense, it is, right? Just because of the fast pace and all that. But yeah, that was they treat that character so well.
I really like the few spots. I think it was towards the end of season 1 when it showed Carmi going to like the group like therapy meetings. And he just kind of and he just opened up. I think they did it like maybe 3 times or so, but like it just kind of got more personal for him. Instead of just like showing up like the first time he went, it was just kind of him showing up, and then when it showed him go back, and that's when he hit that, like, I think they made like kind of like an ad commercial out of that part where he's like, I just kind of said like, fuck you, like,
watch this.
I'm all like, that like kind of like gave me like the hair on the neck stand up, like the chills, like, fuck yeah, like this is dope, like for sure, like he was
the John
able to open
Barenthal
up.
reveal was sickening. I was sick to my stomach when I first watched it. When I saw the John Barenthal review, like how he was connected and like what his role was in it, I said, I don't like you.
Oh yeah.
You make me sad.
There's not a moment.
You made me sad as Shane. You make me sad.
Right.
Shane.
At least he's consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
Consistent. Yes.
I love the flashback scene
whenever I see him.
When they're talking about that party that they went to.
Yeah,
with the Chicago Blackhawks and Bill Murray was there, and
and
then how Richie's trying to tell that story to a date, and the date didn't find it too funny.
Yeah. Like, you were to the bar at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Hold up to
like Bill Murray.
You weren't in a trash can because Bill Murray lore, but we won't get into it. Elijah Wood.
I just feel like part of it, like Richie and Carmi, like just as not only just being like in the role of the show, but like I feel like those dudes just like gel, just like you just got good vibes like between them too. Like I saw like
Yeah.
some type of like behind the show type of, that wasn't like even like a Hulu release, but just something I came across on YouTube, and it just seemed like that those dudes, like, you could tell, or I would at least assume that they're like majority of the cast, but them two specifically are like probably boys from like that, making that show together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just seem like, you know, dudes that, like, you know, we can all, or some of us can relate to as like friends of ours kind of thing. So I don't know, it was just, just a damn good show. I'm gonna keep saying that, just a damn good show.
Here it is.
Dylan.
Well, there's a scene, and you know, it involves Richie, and I swear this, I think the bear might have stolen this from Jacoby, but he's got his tracksuit on, he's got the shades on, he says, "What's up, you fucking replicants?" Throwing a reference out there. And it reminds me of when Jacoby went into Victoria's Fancy Sausage, and he says, "What's up, motherfuckers?" It's the same thing. And I just thought that was really funny, and I just think that's an amazing character moment. Richie just, you know, everybody's like scrubbing the floors, like working real fucking hard. Richie's got like a fucking beer in his hand, and he does absolutely nothing. He just kind of irritates people, and
he's telling a bullshit story, and yeah. Sydney's trying to she's trying to talk to the staff, and Richie's like, just a sec, right? He's trying to tell like something like, you know, insignificant.
Completely dismissive of her.
Yeah.
I think what really sunk me is the all right, all you incel 4chan QAnon.
I love that with the bullhorn.
Zack Snyder cut bullshit motherfuckers, all that shit. Fucking cracked up.
The part when they had that arcade game tournament, and he's outside with the fucking gun. He goes this whole spiel, and at the end he's like he's telling him to recycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please recycle.
And the cigarette pack.
Yeah.
That was set up so perfectly. Yeah. So perfectly where, you're like, fuck yeah, for sure it's Richie. The fucking guy, you know, like, and in the end it's Carmen. And it's Carmen, because he's just getting pulled in too many directions. His mind's not there. It's racing. And that comes back in the second season. Yeah, I'm on it. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. And, you know, he's good. Yeah. Like, he trusts Sydney, but not enough to let her take that.
And also, like, fuck Claire all 2023. Sorry.
What?
I hated Claire. Sorry. Hot take. Hated Claire. Get out. Go home, Claire. Claire, go work some medicine. Go save some lives. Get out of here. You don't belong here.
Facts.
That is a hot take for
sure. Thank you.
You know?
Because I'll tell you, my all-time favorite scene from The Bear was when he was having that like episode, and he was like in his head, everything was so chaotic when he was thinking about Claire, and then when he thought about Sid, everything slowed down.
Yep.
Like everything slowed down. That was one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen in a TV show to show that. And I said, you know what? Claire, I already didn't like you. Get out. Go home. Go save some lives. Go get out of here. And
do you think Sydney is in love with him, or do you think she just admires him?
I think that she admires him.
Yeah.
But he might misinterpret that because he's so in his head. But I also feel like I read somewhere that it was like, oh, they're like platonic soulmates. And I hate that because I also ship them. I love them. I want them to be together forever.
Soulmates.
Yes, I do. But I also feel like it's unfair to the audience because nobody will ever match the energy of Carmi and Sid. So, like, no matter what love interest
partners together.
But so no matter what love interest you introduce, it's like, get out. I don't want you here.
I think so, yeah. One or the other. I think that's what's going to be a common thread is if Sydney meets someone, they're never going to match up to Carmi. And whenever Carmi meets someone, they're never going to match up to Sydney.
Absolutely.
Even though they're not love interest, it's like that best friend syndrome, right? Where, you know, you meet someone and then they're in competition with your, you know, that best friend, like that balance of time you give to your significant other and time you devote to your friendship.
like you and Johnny, you guys really had to work that out before you move forward on Pink Buzz.
Nah, we were kind of more like the facts, man. We guys wore like the same clothes to Christmas party, dance, you know what I mean?
With the matching outfits and shit.
Yeah.
That was like, please take him for a couple hours every week.
So I guess that's a good segue into. You want to just dive into episode 5 of season 2, or did you want to talk about something else before we get into that?
That's episode 1, season 2. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. Go for it. You want, man? JP, go for it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Slow your roll.
No, it starts off, going into how it ends off in season 1. So, someone needs to talk because I am.
I know where he's going with it, though. Like, it really does start out nice. It really kind of shows you a bit more where Marcus is coming from, which is kind of a big part of the story, because we didn't really hear about his mom and his mom's situation in season 1. So that gets introduced. That's a big and then you get Richie looking for purpose. You get
purpose, yeah.
You get Sydney going through the wall, which it shouldn't have been as funny as it was. And then we get learn a lesson of things that you should never say, which is always fun on the show because like they'll go there and
what can we say? Why can't we say it?
It's
they say it like multiple times.
Oh no! I was saying you can say it if you want to, but the show is telling the whole point of them saying it on the show is like, no, dog, you can't say that. That's the only reason why I was saying things that you're not supposed to say. If you want to say Jewish lightning, Joseph, knock yourself.
Jewish lightning.
Say
I don't
it a
even
little
know.
louder, please.
Jewish lightning. I don't even know what it means, to be honest.
I don't know, but I felt all my fibers being broken down.
They explained it on the show, Joseph. It's
after, but the whole time they said it, I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about until after. Then they're like, then they explained it. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I never heard it until I watched this episode.
Me neither.
Really?
It was a learning experience, but
I've never. First time I've ever heard that expression.
Sadly, not the first for me, but
okay. You want to give some backstory? I'm just kidding.
No, I really don't.
And then you have his sister too, who I really loved. I really love Abby Elliott. I love how she was like
I liked her being
fired from
more,
SNL for saying "fuck on live." She lasted about half a season, a quarter of a season before she got fired. But I've always loved her. Always honestly, the whole cast is like super solid.
I like her husband. Pete is so classic, man. I know he gets shit.
Oh my god, he's adorable.
I like Pete.
Yeah.
I love him.
He just wants everyone to get along, man. That's
when he went over like Carmi's like rise to fame and said he was watching. I was like, everyone's been giving this dude shit this whole time. Like he's sitting here like, you know what? I'm proud of this dude.
Yeah.
And so and when Carmi was like, I kind of like Pete now. I was like, you know what? You better.
Because he is that kind of character where it's like, let me see where you're at in a couple days, and then we can go from there. And the support he showed, and then especially when the mom showed up and he was like, he had to hold it together for her because she's pregnant. Like that was such a beautiful moment. I felt
it really was.
I was like, he really cares about you.
Yeah. I really started liking this in my favorite episode of season 1, the birthday party episode where he's all drugged out in the car with them, and he's just so happy to be riding in the damn car with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it really endeared him to me. No, you sleep over there.
Baby Jesus.
But before we get to that episode, like it kind of introduced, like they're getting the restaurant. Like basically, the first season sets up the idea of it. Like it's something old. It's something that they don't want to do anymore, and they're going to start a new restaurant. And in season 2, we see that start to become a reality, and to get that to become a reality, like everybody has to evolve, and everybody gets sent out on their little side missions too. And I learned that damn Sydney can eat on that episode where she Carmen tells her to go hit the town. Like at the first She orders all that stuff, and like I'm like, damn, that girl can eat. And then she goes to like 4 or 5 other restaurants and gets down on. And I'm like,
listen, episode 3 of season 2
Jealous.
is one of my all-time favorite episodes because I number one of my sickening female dreams is like, not dreams, but like, you know, when you're like, you get stood up and you're like, well, fuck you, I don't even need you. And so, and then to be able to afford to eat your feelings away.
Oh yeah.
Listen, a fantasy. So that episode of season 2, episode 3, where Sid just literally gets stood up and then gets to eat the entire episode. I'm like, I'm hungry. I empathize with you. I feel you. I hear you, boo. Like, let's just eat. And and so that was like,
I was jealous. I was like,
it was such a good episode. Yes, everything looked good. We were like getting like found research like we were getting like knowledge based on like chefs and cooks that were like in the business that we saw later on were like obviously not as successful as you thought they were. So I like that those callbacks later on in the season, but it was like that episode. I've never been more hungry in my life than season 2, episode 3. I was so hungry.
How it was shot though, I love when she's sitting there eating, and they show like the architecture, and then they show the food in contrast with it of her thinking of how she wants to do her noodles.
And her drawing it. Oh, it was so good.
Oh my god,
so good.
Yeah,
very beautifully artistically done. And also when Marcus is walking around in Copenhagen in his episode, the way it's very art film like that. Like, I love.
And then the saxophone. Oh.
I wish I could have appreciated Marcus's episode more in the moment, because every 20 seconds I was expecting for him to get the message that his grandmother passed.
Oh.
I was
or his grandmother. I can't remember. But and so I was waiting.
So sad.
Right, and so for it to have been so much later in the season than it happened, I was like, at least he was home, you know. And that sucks. That sucks. But and I know he wasn't there when it happened. But when that whole episode, I was stressed. I said, he's gonna get the message. He's gonna get the message.
That was really visceral for me too. Yeah.
And instead, he just had a really nice trip.
Yeah.
With the invisible cat on the boat.
With the invisible cat. Yes.
That never came around, right? I don't.
No, they never showed it. And like even Carter didn't see it because like he took care of that cat before when he was there. So
3rd season, they better fucking show that cat. I rewatched the episodes. I'm like, where is it? Like I didn't see it. Like,
but they might be waiting a while for a 3rd season.
They better show Paul, motherfucking Paul or something. That's all I want to see. Oh, that'd be cute. Damn, I'm out. Come on, another one. Why not?
I was wondering if there's any connections. I went and checked. I didn't find any between the Shameless, the show, like the creators or anything, and The Bear, because both shows take place in Chicago. You know, you have the character of Carmy, which is the same actor who plays Lip in Shameless. It's got that similar kind of gritty, real life vibe to it. You know, there's a lot of parallels between Shameless and this, and I went and looked. So I thought maybe there was, right? And when I went and looked, I didn't find any. I didn't see any producers or directors. But I mean, you get a lot of the same vibes, not exactly the same themes, but a lot of the same vibes, the feel of the show and stuff like that. So I don't know if
the guy who made it also worked a lot on like Rami and the Hassan Minaj stuff. So like I feel like it makes sense thematically for him.
Because Shameless was an American version of a British show, right?
British show, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But it was very much its own thing, though. If you
definitely.
I very much have tried to watch it 1,600 times and have never gotten past the first season because I'm just like, I hate all of you. Like all of you could die right now, and I don't feel bad.
Okay, I'll stop you there. Okay. How many seasons of Succession did you watch?
Yeah, I was about to say Succession.
I knew it.
All, and I'm not gonna let you do that to my sweet baby angel Shiv. I won't let you do it.
I rest my case. I
know Joe hates the whole fucking family that they will burn in plane. That's what he said.
I just feel like Shameless. So Shameless, I always get to like the episode where I feel like it happens every season probably, where the dad wakes up somewhere naked.
Yeah.
Almost.
I feel like that's always like the finale.
I feel like I
Season
always
finale,
make it to
yeah.
like that episode, and I'm just like, okay, all of a sudden he has a black baby. All of a sudden.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I just because I don't know. Is that what Chicago's like?
Is that what Chicago?
After watching these two shows, I don't know if I want to go visit Chicago,
Like
man.
anybody from there,
Or
we'll just
just-
say that is canon. That Chicago is Mississippi North.
Mississippi North.
Well said.
Yeah, that's a better way of saying it. Yeah, Mississippi North. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Just a,
That's a
just
good point.
aggressive, tough love. Just be
Mhm.
there in the
Tough
moment.
love, whatever, family love.
Yeah.
The family.
And then let's see, what episode was a good one? The fishes one. Was there an
Oh,
episode
my
before
gosh.
that before we start talking about fishes?
Well,
Because
fish is the episode 5, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
7 fish 7 ways.
Christmas dinner, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So that's the big episode. This
That's
one
a big
has
one.
tons of cameos. Like this cast for episode 5 is just
Wild.
insane.
Yeah.
I remember
Bonkers.
texting
Bonkers.
That's like
oh
crazy.
my god. But I didn't want to
No,
spoil
Juan
my God.
sends me a message. He's like, "You're gonna lose your shit when you get to episode 5." I'm like,
That's
"Stop
all I
it."
said. I was like,
"Stop
But
it,
you
no,
know
I'm
what?
not."
Before all of that, I
Six,
thought
episode
Robert
6, sorry.
Townsend as Sid's dad was perfect casting.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
casting.
I just did that with
Perfect.
my hand when you said it.
Like if I didn't know they weren't really related, I would have been like, "That's her dad." 100% perfect. But let's get to the fishes and let's get to the depressing shit, because 1000% one, when I saw that episode, I said, "Is this my mom or is this TV's
Oh.
Jamie Lynn?"
How many of us was that?
Because
That
a
was
lot of
really
this,
relatable.
like everything to set up the restaurant, how it's chaotic, how it was poorly run.
Mhm.
Now everything gets put into context with this one episode, right?
Mhm.
Carmi, all his
All makes
hang-ups,
sense.
his labored relationship with his sister, his brother,
Mhm.
and it's almost like always on the verge of collapsing, right? Almost on the verge of exploding, and like you hear family members never talking to each other, and you get those vibes, that tension from their relationships, and this this episode, it's a Christmas supper, right? They're going over to, what's the family name again?
Berzado?
The Berzado. This is the Berzado Christmas dinner, right? So, holy shit! I mean,
Yeah.
the mother is played wonderfully, magnificently, flawlessly by Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean,
great.
He's so great.
So
The
fucking
long
good.
nail smoking. I was like, oh.
Like, how many goddamn? She's cooking the meal, right, for her whole
Mhm.
family.
Mhm.
In her mind, nobody appreciates her.
Nobody.
Not a single
No one's
fucking
helping
person in
me.
there. No one's helping, and everyone's
Mhm.
offering to help her, but it's
Did that really good cookie. That was spot on.
Cookie, when I tell you I thought you might have been my mom right now.
it's like,
No, because
like that.
when I tell you I grew up with women like this,
Mhm.
with the Italian moms,
Absolutely.
like
So much, yeah.
I went into full body shakes.
Yeah,
This
and because
episode.
Yes.
the Feast of the Seven Fishes is very much Italian American. It's
Mhm.
very, but they
Yeah.
don't necessarily name it,
Yeah.
but it is 7 seafood dishes, but also my mom is just white, like Vermont white. But when I tell you the hecticness of it, I said I'm so glad my dad got custody of us. Because I can only imagine the long-term trauma.
It's funny with that whole scene too. Is like you can like just smell the smoke, the cigarette.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, in that house, right? You've been in those
Mhm.
houses too, where it's just like
Totally
just a
everything.
haze, and even like just like the close up of Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Just like the wrinkle around her mouth, right? You could just like
Yeah.
like that's
Oh
a
my
sign of like
gosh.
of a chain smoker, and
My
yeah.
mom, I had to pay extra because I had to pay for my apartment to be painted, but they had to peel it off first. Because yeah, my mom has smoked Virginia Slims for the last 50 years.
Yeah,
And
actually, yeah, go ahead.
the timers. Like how many goddamn slangers does she have? They're going off every 3-4 minutes. It's like
and they keep getting dirtier and dirtier.
Yeah, the kitchen. She's no one's clean because she won't let anyone.
No.
She says she wants help, but she doesn't let anyone help her.
Yeah.
So it's
and poor Sugar. I felt
it's
so
such a
bad.
fucking war zone. Yeah.
Oh, and when John Mulaney walks in there to help, I fucking felt so bad for that character.
The worst person, I mean, the worst and best person to play somebody in the family, right? Because it's like, I know your background, and I know this probably feels comfortable for you, but I don't want you here.
I love his scene though when he's sitting with Matty Matheson's character and his brother, and they're trying to get him to invest $500 to buy baseball cards.
Baseball cards.
So they can make $1,500.
I'm gonna give it to you, but just because deliver every year.
Well, I found the Jaritos one, the alcohol one, but I still have some too.
One, I haven't been able to find him yet.
Oh shit!
I haven't been able to find him yet. Yeah.
Well, more for me then. But
okay.
Really good.
But that's but that Bob Odenkirk scene.
Love
the
Bob.
fork. How many, like I can't like how many like family dinners like I'm just thinking have I been to where two people you could tell just hate each other and you just it just takes someone to kind of look sort of like at that person and then just right you're like fuck here we go you just kind of sit back you just kind of like
and he has the perfect face for it too.
Really good. For sure.
Yeah.
We also get to meet the mother to Richie's kids. That
was
Jacobs.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we see who his ex is, right? And in this one, she's pregnant with their first child.
Jillian Jacobs, right? From
So-
Come Play. You got to say that movie fast like that because I think it's hilarious to call it Come Play.
Also from
Community,
Communities where she got she got known. So is there a connection there as well? Because they got John McCall to play the chef in the first season.
But also, Jillian Jacobs is a comedian, improv too. I've seen her a lot on like Comedy Bang Bang, along with other improv comedians. Bob Odenkirk specifically too. So I mean, I see them a lot in the improv community. So it makes sense.
There's probably that connection there. Then you have Sarah Paulson who plays.
She was so good.
I fucking love her.
Yeah.
She's trying to throw the whole show. She's trying to throw Carmi a life preserver, right?
And that's where
you
I
have
saw
too much
myself
talent
in
to
the
get it
family.
wasted. Too much talent to get it wasted. Come move with me. Come to New York you have too much talent to just get wrapped up in this insanity that is your family, right? Trying to like give him a shot because he obviously has talent and potential, and she was great in that
too. Chugging over here. I identified with her the most probably because especially coming from like a large, nuclear adoptive like massive family where I've been like, just come home with me. I see what's happening. Just come.
I see danger.
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
I don't want. I recognize what's happening. Just come on. And so for her, I was like, let's just finish this episode because you guys are hitting too close to home. He's not gonna listen. Let's just go.
Even everybody trying to get set up with Claire, that's how my cousins are. They're just busting my balls and be like, shut the fuck up, leave me alone. So every time that would happen, I was like, oh god.
And it's like truly no like ill will or negative intent. It's truly like I've been there. I know. I see what's happening. I know what's going to happen. Let me just give you a lifeline. And it's just you have to accept that like not everybody's gonna take it.
And then poor Pete showing up with a tuna casserole.
My God.
Yeah.
Eats so much shit for that by everyone.
I feel bad for Pete. He's trying so hard.
His heart's in the right place. That
he's so simple.
It's like we told you not to bring anything.
It's like that's not good.
Yeah,
and then you have
like. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, just this, like going back to Pete, right? Even like with when the mom, and the family, dinner, she doesn't go into the restaurant, and just Pete's reaction and all that. It's just funny. Like I don't know why, like Pete just kind of like there's something about that character. I don't know what it is. He's just kind of this little dark horse. You kind of root for. He just wants to be part of the family.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
Because I would have. That's exactly what I would have wanted. In hindsight, like maybe not in the moment, like maybe I would have caused the scene, but hindsight, absolutely, like that's exactly what you should have done.
And it adds so much context to the relationship between him and
because it really shows that he really is getting her, like he really understands.
Yeah, and it's funny too, like in the whole storm of this family, right? Pete's kind of like this calmness, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he's
yeah.
Pete's the normal one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's one other person that knows how to sail the seas of this family, and that's Oliver Platt's character, Uncle.
Oh my God!
Yeah, throw money at it.
Like he's probably one of the coolest characters.
Yeah,
not like just in composure, right? Of the whole episode, like nothing seems to shake him until that one moment, right, where everything just goes crazy with the fork scene, right? That's the only time you really see him kind of start to assert himself within the dynamics a little bit. Otherwise, he's just kind of floating around on the edges of everything happening, not getting too involved, and So,
but he's there to prop up the family. Like he's just like this constant support.
And that scene where he gives the wink to Richie was good.
Yeah, I kind of got that from that Steven guy too. The one that came with the aunt that wanted to take Carmi away.
Maloney's character.
Oh yeah.
I felt so bad for him when he gave his grace, and he actually calmed everything down. You actually thought everything was going to be okay for a second.
Yeah.
And like a sigh of relief, and then just boop.
Yeah, watching John Mulaney, it's like when you just feel sorry for someone's boyfriend or girlfriend that gets brought into their first family dinner. You're like, fucking hell, right?
But it's funny. It's funny how it progressed, because first he finds it amusing, right? Oh, they're so wacky, and he's like, I come here for the entertainment. It's fun, and then all of a sudden the fork scene starts to happen. Then he goes into the fucking kitchen, and the mother just fucking rips his head off, and he's like, all right, this family's not so much fun anymore.
Y'all are just violent now.
Yeah. At first, it's all a show. It's funny for him till he gets pulled in, right?
Yeah.
Then it's not so much fun anymore. Yeah. And the desperation that Sarah Paulson's character, like just the desperation of her trying to get Carmi out, those desperate Hail Marys of just. Come on, and you could see in the way she is, she's like, we're gonna lose another one, to this insanity, and
hate that's relatable. Hate it.
Totally.
And she just delivers it so well, just like she does with almost every role she ever does. So.
Yeah,
including her marriage. No, I'm just kidding.
That too.
That was a joke. It was a joke. Chill. No, but that was really, that really messed me up because.
So what's going on? What's this celebrity gossip?
Nothing. Let's not.
Let's do that.
About them.
Don't fire her up, Joe.
No, you
I like Sarah Paulson. Chill.
Yeah, let's just stop it right there.
I'm Googling Sarah Paulson wife.
You know she's with Holland Taylor.
Yeah.
And she's like 80 years old.
Spider-Man?
Something like that.
Oh shit.
The Spider-Man?
Who?
The Spider-Man? Holland Taylor? Wait,
Holland Taylor, the elderly
No,
woman?
not.
Stop.
2.5 Men Mom.
2.5 Men Mom. Yeah.
The mom from
That's right. That's right.
Imagine that's your legacy. Oh, would you rather be Sarah Paulson's wife or the mom from 2.5 Men?
Mom.
I'm so sorry.
Charlie Sheen's mom.
Not biological.
Yeah.
Right.
She didn't lead him down wrong roads.
Down.
So what after this episode, what's your take on Michael's kid, like Michael, like is he like the poison? Is he that the rotting core of the apple? Like is it Jamie Lee Curtis? Like where does this family's where does it start from? Where does the rot come from?
The
You
mother.
know, like
It
mother.
definitely starts from the head. Yeah, I think
It's
it
the mother.
trickles down.
Yeah.
It trickles down. But I also think that Michael, as like the head of the family, after the mom, I feel like he had felt obviously a lot of weight, and obviously it got to him.
Yeah,
And it's unfortunate, truly unfortunate that he felt that was all on him. Because when I say it again, that reveal on season 1, I was bawling. I was sick to my stomach. Sick to
at
my
the end,
stomach.
the cans.
Like just John Barenthal's story, him
Oh,
being
okay.
revealed as the brother, revealing
Okay.
what happened, just everything that happened. Because I feel like, especially in cooking, I guess because I have so many relatives that are chefs, and so many relatives that work in the industry, like it's so depressing. It's so depressing, and so when I saw that, I was like, that really fucking hit home for me, and
Oh, that is depressing. I didn't even notice. Yeah, because I didn't even get my.
So like,
it's heavy because it is
yeah.
like it's a high stress job, but also not a job not everybody could take, but one that a lot of people who unfortunately suffer from those afflictions take and are good at. And it's like, it's because it's something you don't have to think about, at a point where it's like your life is so consumed by this one thing. And then when Carmi, when it came to reveal, like, his backstory, his addictions, his problems, I was like, I really hope he gets the help he needs. And even so much as I love Sid, I love him and Sid together. I don't know if I want them together because I feel like she's so pure. Her background is so like innocent, kind of, where it's like
sweet innocent.
he comes from a source of such
baby
darkness, but also at the same time, it's like, do they help each other out in that space? And so it
Yin
was
and
really
yang.
interesting. I really loved them together and apart, and even the episode where he stood her up, season "Fuck You, Carmi," episode 3.
You just bat her eyes and
But
you just
also
beat
the
up a
single
baby.
most episode to get me hungry. Season 2, episode 3 made me hungry.
Yeah.
Hungry.
I wanted all the pasta, all the rice.
Because obviously now you see the parallels, right, between Carmi and his brother, right? And in his death, he hands him over that poison apple, which is the restaurant, right? So do you think they'll go through with it in the end, and Carmi will, like, can't handle it and take his own life? Do you think they'd be that dark enough to go there, or do you think he's gonna pull through?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't find that feeling at all.
Or do you think he'll just be like, I accomplished what I wanted to, and I'll hand it over to Sydney, maybe?
No,
or...
neither. I think they'll end the series before either.
He's gonna end up lonely, just on his own.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna push. He's gonna push away people at the end.
Married to the game.
Well, because we got that. Like, everything was going fine, and he still flipped out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything
and I
was
hate
fine, and
Claire.
he still
Say
flipped
that.
out.
Attach it to my name.
Stop it.
I never liked her.
Stop it right there.
I can't stand that ass already. Well, I didn't like the fact that she went through all the hoops to call him when she was at work and all that.
Oh, when he gave her the wrong number?
No.
Did you mean to give me the wrong? Yes, he meant to give you the wrong number, bitch. Chill.
Because he
knew,
likes
right?
her so much.
No.
Well, because he knew the outcome already. He knew he wouldn't be able.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you know what? And
he knew he wasn't going to be able to put her above the restaurant.
As smart as she's supposed to be, she should have been like, I bet, but she didn't. Instead, she thought I could change him. And there's something about a girl who's like, I could change him. That's such a turn off. And I was like, girl, you know his family history. You know everything about him, his past and all that. And you still tried it. And it's like, to me, it's like, it's such a turn off to me when, because you already know. And it's like,
out.
I was going to say, I feel so
Look, that's why I said teen romance movies of the 80s.
They went with that.
They went with that vibe though, with the party, and then they played the "Can't Hardly Wait" song. I mean,
yes. And
They
so when
leaned in.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, there's no way they can end up together because she has an idea in her head.
Right?
She has an idea in her head, and Carmi is not that guy.
Yeah.
And if they stuck to it, I would have been so disappointed. So I promise you, my favorite scene, I'll say it again, is when he had that vision in his head, and everything was fast paced with Claire. But then when he pictured Sid, everything was slowed down because it makes sense. And I'm not even saying that he has to be with Sid, but the restaurant and Sid makes sense to him. Claire does not make sense.
No, and
it's too much.
I get that Sid is good for him, and I love them together as partners, as working partners.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to be in a relationship because then that's gonna fuck up what they have going.
No,
now.
he's gonna fuck it up. He's gonna fuck it up. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But they're not gonna.
You can't leave it alone.
They're just.
But also,
weird.
you know, everyone tell him she's a great girl. Don't fuck it up. Who needs to fucking hear that when they start? Nobody needs to hear that shit. You know, like fucking.
Clearly, he
shut
needed to
the
hear it.
fuck up. Like.
But when he was yelling out of the freezer, I said, "Speak some more truth, motherfucker! Just yell it."
Yeah.
And it made me so happy because I was like, "No, because sometimes you need to hear it. You need to hear it," and she heard it.
You know what? I love
it is what
that
it is.
Richie called him out on his shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? This is like the perfect vehicle to let Richie let it, everything spew.
Oh, and Olivia Colman's cameo with Richie was chef's kiss.
Cute.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
She deserves whatever. Even above Jamie Lee, I feel Olivia's cameo was so calming. It was such a reassurance to the character of Richie that it blew me away. Like, out of all the cameos, she was my favorite. Genuinely. Because I felt like it really made him think and slow down.
That's fucking. Oh, yeah, he needed that.
Yeah.
It was a perfect way to cap off that episode too, right? Like that was
Perfect.
Richie's like coming of age.
And
episode.
I loved her, and I want her to be my mom. I want her to give me life advice. I loved her so much in that cameo. It was perfect.
And Richie's redemptions are in this. Like at the end, once Carmi gets locked in the freezer, and he's like, "All right, let's do this." And he just fucking took charge, I love that. And I love that one scene where you first see him when he comes in with the suit and they're interviewing people.
Yeah.
And he's sitting with the sister, and she's like, "No, she's not right. What? She has the fucking He's like, the whole fucking time, that fucking napkin and that spoon were not placed right. And you're like, oh fuck. All episode, he's like, I gotta find my purpose. Boom. That as much as I love Tina's story in the first season, I love Richie's story in the second. Like, I mean,
absolutely. Richie, like,
and just
like what? I wear suits now.
I wear suits.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
And just him yelling out those orders at the end for that fucking soft open. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Loved it. Yeah. Like he takes off his jacket, so he's like, all right, let's do this, It was just, it was perfect. It was perfection. Yeah.
And again, Taylor Swift.
Maybe I love Taylor Swift too. I just need a break.
That's right. I love that line. I wrote that line down.
And listen, I'll be the first person to say my daughter hit me up and she said, her U.S. tour is over, but she's coming back next year. And I said, why did that sound ominous?
She's coming back.
So her goddad Isaiah was like, "Yeah, I'll for sure take her. I love Tate Swizzle." You said I love T Swizzle.
Of course, she's coming back next year. She puts out an album every fucking 6 months, man. Like,
but what she's doing is she's wrapping up her Eras tour in America. She's going overseas. Right? Yeah, she's going overseas, and she's bringing it back next year in America.
Bringing it back.
Look, if you're watching, because I know she's trying to get no view, listening only seats to Beyonce tonight. I love you. It's no stage view, but she trying to get her some tickets. So all positive energy your way, friend.
Hey,
Sending all the good
you know,
vibes.
all the power in the world to Taylor Swift. I mean, she's doing her thing and she's killing it. I mean,
Yeah, keeping that.
you know,
Now my sons cover their ears when it's on,
well, I feel them, but you know, hey,
but my daughter is like, "Stop."
millions of people will argue
Yeah.
differently. So
Yeah.
I will.
Not they will. You said it so strongly.
I thought he said I will.
I love Taylor
I thought
Swift.
that's what he said too.
Yeah, he did say that.
I have a CD signed from her. I bought one of those motherfuckers. I love her.
You bought what?
I bought one of the signed CDs from her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not joking. The Midnight one.
You're a Swiftie. Okay.
I sure fucking on some CD. I didn't really like
No, my daughter is, and I think it's so cute. She's like, 1989 is my favorite. I'm like, that's when I was born, and she's like, I don't care. That's when Taylor Swift was born.
No. That's too funny.
Oh, thank you, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, so we want to go each take our turn and give maybe some of our final thoughts, or do you guys have anything else you'd like to touch on?
If anybody had any ideas where they thought season 3 might pick up, if you think it'll take off like when it's the restaurant up and running, or do you think it'll jump ahead in time and be kind of after the restaurant settled a little bit?
I think it'll jump.
They'll jump. Yeah.
It'll time jump.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because I'm not really interested in seeing Carmi, trying to like get back together with Claire.
For
I
sure.
think that ship sailed, right? I think his uncle kind of alluded to the fact that he's got to focus on,
Yep.
he's got to be the man, right? So I think you'll probably see a more hardened Carmen, like a little more focused. I wonder if he'll almost, I don't know, like maybe turn into a bit of an asshole in the kitchen. I'm kind of curious if he'll get a little bit darker, maybe.
Like channel his McCall type character thing.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if he's gonna full circle, like kind of like maybe.
We might see them opening a number 2.
Yeah.
Which might be
Oh, that would be
interesting.
something.
Just based on personalities and where they have like Abraham and Tina, etc. It might be interesting to see them franchising.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have the sister there now, right, to handle like the logistics and the finances.
Because they have to make this amount of money back.
Yeah, I mean, see Sydney run one, a second restaurant, and then Carmen stay at one, and I don't know. Yeah.
So I would say one more season, it'll be good ending. Because you really can't go that far with that kind of show.
Yeah, and I know about 3 seasons because Res Dog is ending this season.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're just talking. Did y'all see the new episode, The Deer Lady? Sorry, off topic.
Yes, I did. It was really good, man.
I'm just watching it. I was like, coming back circle with that Deer Lady.
So the 3rd season already started?
Yeah, there's 3 episodes out.
Yeah.
But coming back on top.
Have any of you guys ever eaten at a restaurant like that? One of them where they make the weird little foods with the sauce dribble, like they make in the bear.
With the sauce? Have you guys ever eaten in a fine dining restaurant?
Yeah, I want to go to one of those little fucker things.
I was at one last week. Actually, I was in Victoria, and my mom and a friend took us to like some restaurant on the wharf kind of thing, and it was all it was funny. I'm sitting there like, fuck, is a lot of old people in here. It's just like old people, right? And, where like the drinks are like martinis are like $20, and it's like at the end, like my mom always orders dessert, right? When nobody wants dessert, so she orders some $20 deconstructed key lime pie. It was like this big fucking plate, and this tiny wafer in the corner with like droplets of like of the lemon curd or whatever and all that, and just a little bit of drizzle, and. My mom kind of she made a joke to him like, are we supposed to share this kind of thing? It was just like they brought us 4 forks right for this little fucking graham cracker. It was horrible. It was good. It tasted good, but
it was delicious, but it was horrible.
You really deconstructed that thing then.
No, for sure. The brother that I mentioned who was a chef, like I went to his restaurant to support him, and they were having like a Star Wars themed like thing because he was near Disneyland. in California, and so I'm like, oh, let me go to support the nastiest.
Never mind.
It wasn't that it was nasty. It was just that it was like so fancy that I was like, this isn't what I wanted. I just wanted some fries. I just wanted some fries on a cocktail.
I just want some chicken wings, please.
Yeah, this is it.
Taco Bell in box one.
Yes, listen, the holy trinity. You know, Taco Bell, box wine, and some French fries. But I didn't get that, so.
Yeah, we have not too far from our place. We have this nice little restaurant that. How many courses is it? What? 6-course, 8-course meal. Anyway, it's pricey, but it's pretty fucking good. And I mean, you have to, if you're gonna have an 8-course meal, you can't have big portions. Everything's got to be small, or else you get to the 4th course and you're like, fuck, I can't keep eating. I'm too full. That's the whole point why all the portions are so small, because you have so many courses that you can't. Each plate can't be overflowing, and so I mean. We don't go often. We maybe go once a year, once every couple of years, because it's very expensive. We have to take a second mortgage on the house to go eat there. But but it's a nice night out every once in a while.
Yeah, because Dean told me to go to Austin. I have family and friends in Austin. There's Japanese cuisine he told me about, and I'm trying to find the time to go do that because I want to go all fancied up one day and fancy dress too. I haven't gone fancied up in a long time.
I've had some bomb ass sushi, man, that was decked out and decorated really nice, but it kind of comes across a bit different than risotto or whatever the hell they were making. And
yeah,
we're gonna shit it out.
Why would you try to make risotto unless it was a challenge? That's what I always on cooking shows. I've always noticed that if it's not a risotto challenge, why are you trying it?
Right. It's like you're just gonna go home.
Because one thing I'm gonna do is watch a cooking show. I literally watch everything from barbecue brawl to food truck race to I know. I watch every cooking show there is. Chopped everything.
I'll tell you what, though, season 1 made me a lot hungrier than season 2 did. I like the sandwiches and the chicken.
Yeah.
Really? Because season 2 made me hungrier with the drawings. And Sydney's episode alone made me Google every food item available in my city ever.
I want that cardamom croissant.
I wanted everything. I was Googling everything.
It was funny how he came up with the drawing. They were like, "How did you get the shading?"
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
And I said, "I'm hungry." You said shading. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But I love those scenes where it's like, "Hey, try this." Then everyone goes around, and I'm like, you get so jealous, like you motherfucker. I just want a bite of that,
And,
You're like,
and the callbacks later on to the restaurants being closed. Oh, that gutted me, but at the same time,
I know.
I was
so sad.
I was like, that's okay as long as our boys' restaurant succeeds.
But I love that one scene from season 1 with Richie, because you know how he's all stubborn and like, this is the way we do it here. And then everyone's like, and then when no one's looking, he picks that sandwich up and he takes that bite and he's like, motherfucker, like fuck.
That's just like what happened with the donut on the floor. That smile after he fucking tasted it for a little bit.
What the fuck? So he actually did that. Of course they didn't cut that. He ate that shit from the floor.
Yeah, so he went back and he picks it up and he eats it and he's like, fuck, that's good. And he's like, I'm a fucking dickhead.
Hey, a little floor everything nice, man.
Yeah, they actually did that. That's why like how clean was that fucking floor, because he actually did that. That's good.
I don't think it mattered if it was clean.
Right?
As long as it tasted good.
No
Because
floor's
a
clean
little
enough.
dirt adds season.
I was going to say it's just spice.
Nature's
How far into the season was that? Because he started writing that ship where like everything had to be clean. Yeah.
Because he wasn't trying to have an asbestos sandwich.
This was almost, I want to say the end of the season, because this was when Marcus was experimenting with that donut for like 3 episodes. So
it
I
was
want to say like 8 or 9, maybe.
Second to last one. It was the ticket episode.
Yeah, okay, so that's about when the restaurant, he righted that ship, and everyone was kind of pulling that line.
They were doing the brigade. Yeah, they were doing.
So he knew that floor was clean. It wasn't so bad. I don't think he would have done that if it was episode 1. Coming into that fucking wreck that he walked into in episode 1, I don't think he'd be picking that donut off the floor in that restaurant from episode 1. No way in hell.
But then again, he might have done it just to prove a point, since he was a part of the original concept.
It's clean.
Cousin, it's clean.
That's considered a stunt, right? People do their own stunts.
Right.
I would have assumed he made more than one donut. Yeah. So I would have went and tried one of the ones and still had chilling.
We know you would have, yeah.
All right. So, closing thoughts on the Bear. We'll go around the horn like we did to start. So, Dylan, man, what are your closing thoughts on this show?
I'd say it's up there with Barry. Barry's another show I watched.
Never seen that show.
That's on my list.
Excellent.
On my list.
And I want to say for the future, I'm hoping that Carmi comes into contact with some of his old acquaintances, like Joel McHale's character, but also Poulter, Chef Luca. There's a connection that because forgive me, I forget names. Is it Marcus, the donut guy?
Yeah.
Trained by Luca, and it turned out Luca he mentioned he was working with a chef that pushed him so hard, and that was
they're all connected, right?
Carmi.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'd love to see I'd love to see those guys.
Yeah, because Richie sees the picture of them. Yeah.
Yeah, because every second counts. It's in every.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, it's one of the best shows that's on streaming right now, and I hope it goes for at least a few more seasons.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes you can stretch a show out too far. But maybe definitely a third. I wouldn't be up over a fourth, but I wouldn't go past a fourth. Yeah.
Well, depending on where they go with 3.
Yeah.
It would have to be very specific. Yeah.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it won't come back with all the fucking strike and everything.
And I'd be okay with that because I felt like it ended enough for me. Yeah.
Richie had his moments, so I'm happy.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
That's true. So at the end, right? Yeah. Cookie, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm
it?
Dylan. I want. Yeah.
I'm a Dylan.
I'm Dylan. I want more seasons.
Yeah.
I absolutely want more seasons. As many as I'll take whatever they give me. But I love the show. I'm glad that y'all made me watch it because it's so good. And yeah.
Well, when did you watch the first season? Last year when it came out?
Yeah, we made it.
Like later. Like everybody was talking about it on Twitter. Like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. I'm like, nah, no.
Yeah.
So stubborn.
What
it was the ads.
What was it? Oh, it was just because it was on Hulu. That's why you didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Not the 2 ads in
and plus, no, it's not the amount. It is the volume. No, and then on top of it,
no, I got you.
With,
totally.
No, I had just finished with Shameless, so I was like, I don't need any more shows that are gonna make me snot cry. So
especially with him, I got you.
So I was like, I cannot deal with it. So, but this is much for as crazy as it is and as anxious as it makes me, I still get happy watching it. I never get like I mean there are points where I'm sad, but for the most part it's
heartwarming.
A joy.
Yeah.
It's a stressful joy to watch.
Yeah.
Well, almost every episode gives you that triumphant moment in each individual episode, right? So it's never too heavy and it's never too it's a perfect balance.
Yeah.
You never get too high, you never get too low, and they bring you just low enough so that when you hit that high, it's just that much more satifying. It's perfect the way they do that. Phil, man, what are your final thoughts?
It's like a twisted Ted Lasso. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Phil, man, what's your last thoughts?
As much as I would like to see season 3. I don't know if, I mean, I guess it just depends on like, the creative team of what more they could do with, say, like I said, season 3, or just kind of like how Elle just kind of said, like, if a season 3 doesn't happen and it's over after 2 seasons, like, I would be okay with that too. Obviously, selfishly, another season would be awesome, just because pretty much every episode of the 2 seasons that we have were awesome. I mean, it was good enough for the 10 of us to actually, do a show about it, to review it and talk nothing but great things about it. It's satisfied enough through 2, so a third season, I would assume, would not disappoint whatsoever.
True.
Just to see, just to see where they would go with, like, a season 3, and who knows, like, with what's going on with the striking, and I guess, time will tell. I'm not sure if anything's even out there as far as like a confirmation of, oh yeah, it's green lighted for a season 3. I don't know. It was just so damn good. Again, I am reiterating it's so damn good that I feel like it's a win-win in my eyes. Where it's just, if that's all we got was 2, then so be it. Obviously, a third I feel like we'd be spoiled, just because I don't think if they do go through the season 3 that it would be anything less than subpar compared to the first 2 seasons. But yeah, just the casting, and just like, everything that brought us all here tonight was just, it was awesome. So
yeah,
time will
and
tell.
like you said something that it just hit me, like, none of us said a single negative thing about this show.
That's right.
And I'm thinking now, the more seasons you go, the more
opportunity
you open yourself up, to maybe something negative about, like, right now it seems like a flawless show. I can't think of it. I've never had a negative comment thought go through my mind about this show. And I don't know about the rest of you, but it just dawned on me now.
Until Claire, yeah. I guess that would be kind of like the that would be like the, because I'm on the same kind of ship with the Claire character, as far as like, I feel like maybe they actually made her more involved with it to kind of give it like a side, like a curveball feel.
Yeah.
We could have done without her, but I feel like it gave us more storytelling and building with her. Like, wait a second, like, she was
With
in
him. Yeah.
right, So I don't know. Now that I'm sitting here just like, blabbing about it, I kind of do want a season 3, I guess. But if we don't, it won't be the end of the world, because I feel like we got out of it what we did. But more on the hopeful side that we do get another season. Just, they just go, like, what were they, 8 episodes, or not? What was it, a season?
Yeah, 9,
8 and 1 was 10.
Or 10. Okay, yeah. So I mean, and they're only 30 minutes, so it's like, it's a great quick watch. So but yeah, all positive things too, So
I just looked it up. It is not aired outside of the United States yet. So Hulu hasn't said shit, but the showrunner Chris Storer says that there's definitely more coming.
Okay.
It happens. So,
All right, cool.
And going off the ratings for the American broadcast of it, like, it seems everybody loves it, at least as much or more than season 2. So I'm pretty sure that.
Oh yeah, I haven't met anybody who has watched it who hasn't liked it.
That's true. Yeah. Even all the community liked it, and that's really hard to, even Dean is a hard critic. I mean, it's just funny. Oh shit!
Yeah, he'll be the first person to be like, "This is shit."
Right. Throw in an inanimate object, and he's into it. It just happened to be food in this instance.
The characters and the actors and actors that fit those characters, just I can't really.
It was excellent.
Picture anyone else filling in for, like, if a Richie was like, I don't want to do anymore, and they like, you can't fill another actor to play that, that you just got to write him off then at that point, like.
Right.
Yeah.
Elle, your final thoughts before we sound
So
off.
I personally feel like, obviously, The Bear was 10 out of 10. All seasons, all episodes. But especially, of course, the Seven Fishes episode, like,
Mhm.
especially with them packing
So
in
wild.
the amount of cameos that they did without it feeling like it was cameo
A joke.
heavy. Like,
Yeah.
it honestly felt organic, and I was like,
Yep.
oh, my mom is Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's
My
already
uncle
Are you my
is Bob
mom?
Odenkirk. Just take a chill pill, relax. You weren't here from the beginning. It was, and so just for that alone, and then even season 1 with the sandwich episode,
But
the
I think
intensity of it has always been so relatable that it's a 10 out of 10, and stressful for myself at times because I'm like, why do I relate to this?
right.
I think that was the only episode that ran for over a half hour. That episode ran for an hour and 6 minutes.
It doesn't even
The
feel
family
like
one
it
did
because
too.
that's how
No.
it feels
It
like
felt
at
like a
home,
20-minute
right?
episode.
The family one, no, the family one did too. The family one was more like an hour too,
But the way
Yeah.
it
but it
ended,
felt just as fast. Yeah.
Even with like Jamie Lee and eventually where she ended up, I said, oh, I could see Sherry, sorry if you're watching this, but I could see you absolutely doing the same
Driving
thing.
a car into the house.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
mom's wild. And my mom suffers from a lot of afflictions emotionally, so I was just like, yeah, I hate that I can relate to this so much. And so for me, it's always been that, and not only that, but just like the way they communicate with each other is very relatable. And I know it's not to everybody. I know not everybody's family is like that, and I can appreciate it. But it was just really interesting and different to see a family like my own represented on television.
Yeah. Saint, what are your thoughts? Your final thoughts?
Listen to all you guys. I'm really excited because I still have season 2 to watch and finish. So, and I'm super excited to know that I got an hour-long episode ahead of me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the grease fire boils over into the kitchen and everybody dies on the last episode.
Whatever.
It was very tragic.
There is no season 3.
There's a Taylor Swift song over it.
I thought the show was really great. So I think the show is really great so far. I'm having a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm listening to you guys here, but like I'm already super excited about Tina and sending them to culinary school, and Marcus about to get sent to Copenhagen and stuff like that. Everyone gets their kind of like training arc. So I'm super excited for that, and I'm on the lookout for original birth shirt too. I just gotta find a place to get one.
Tara.
Hey there. Who did we just lose? Where did Elle go?
Oh, she had to take off.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if I have anything new to add, but I just really enjoyed both of the seasons. It was very, like, the word that comes to mind is visceral for me because I was just literally feeling it. And all the redemption arcs for every character were beautiful. I feel selfish for wanting another season, but I do.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone, like we said, definitely you could fit a third season. I think there's enough story there without diluting the quality, or, like we said, maybe opening it up to maybe a lesser quality type season. But I mean, with this cast, I mean, the actors,
they could do spin-offs.
It's the casting is perfect. It's like every actor was like perfectly cast in the roles that they played. So, I mean, just that fact, I think a third season, I mean, it can't lose, right? I don't think it could anyway.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Orange is the New Black, where it was like that center around that one character, and then it branched off to everybody else. So if they do that, I'm still gonna be.
I mean, that worked for that show too. They got a couple seasons out of that.
And I felt it. Like I watched the whole thing because I loved every other character, much than that other. I forgot Riley Piper. That's a wrestler. Whatever. Piper. Whatever.
Piper.
Yeah.
No, Piper.
Her at all.
Nobody liked Piper.
Yeah, whatever.
Rowdy.
She was a little annoying.
Yeah, if they do that for the other seasons, I'm still gonna be in it because I want to see them too, how they keep growing.
Mhm.
All right, well, JP man, just keep going. You're next. So, what are your final thoughts?
And the music. They are spot on with the music. Also, really spot
Yeah,
on.
the music was
So,
good.
yeah. So in the third season, more of that, and like I said, more of the side quests. I would love to see more of the side quests. If they do that,
Mhm.
then they come back together with an episode.
They are good palate cleansers, right? Because
Yeah.
that first
Mhm.
season, everything took place in that little grimy restaurant, and then like
Mhm.
those were good palate cleanser episodes to kind of break it up and change the vibe and the flow a little bit. So yeah, it was a nice change up for sure. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Adrian, my man, what's your final thoughts?
You know what? So I will say, I still prefer season 1 over season
Yep.
2.
I'm with you there. I'm with you
Because I
there.
find too with season 2, I guess because there wasn't much conflict amongst the kitchen staff, so it kind of seemed it was all kind of like nice now. You know what I mean? And I think that was like one of the strongest points in
The first season.
1, right? Just the tension, right? And that. So I found that the kitchen tension wasn't really as strong as whatever. So. I mean, apart from the, I guess I'm going to criticize it just a bit. So I think apart from the family dinner, I didn't feel a lot of conflict, I guess, as much as I did in season 1. You know what I mean? Like I found like the family dinner was so monumental. Like it probably was the best episode in season 1 and 2, right?
Yes, agree. I'm with you perfectly there.
Yeah, the explosion was so big that it just kind of sort of like just trickled over the entire season 2, and kind of masked like I said, just the lack of I don't know, like I said, conflict, right? For me. But saying that, like I said, they could easily end this in season 2. I'd be more than happy with it. I think I'd like to go just maybe one more season, because like I said, I'm not a big fan of like when good shows go on forever, right? Because it's just there's eventually that dropping point. You kind of get depressed about it, right? Like with The Walking Dead, you know, I mean, I hung on. Fuck did I hang on, right? And I was there for holy shit. But, oh my god, I remember just sitting there as soon as Glenn's eyeball came out, I'm like, we're out. That's it. I can't do this anymore. And that was it for me. So, but anyways, like I said, one more season, kind of like the tiebreaker, because I'm just really curious how the restaurant fares now. Like I'm curious how successful the restaurant will be.
Like did they meet their targets to be able to have it become successful? Or...
Yeah. Because in season 1, you know, the goal was to get the kitchen kind of working cohesive. Season 2 is getting the restaurant open. And I think season 3 should be the restaurant being successful. And then, I don't know, I can end it after that, right? Because it can drag, you know, or even go 4, maybe 4 tops. Like I know, Joe, like Succession, you kind of dropped out after the third season?
Third season was the last I watched,
Yeah, so I stuck through all 4, and, you know, it was just, 4 was good. It was good. It was just enough.
Johnny, man, what are your final thoughts?
I can't argue with what anybody's saying. I think that probably one more should tie the bow on and finish it up. I really hope they do something about Carmi, because I feel a little bad, because I do enjoy the actor, but I feel bad for when the main character is the worst character in his own show.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
I hope he hammers out his problem, because he's the only one that still has one. But I'm a huge fan of the actor. Like I said, like I really want to see him play Wolverine, and I'm not the only one, because at that party, everybody came up to him and thought he was Logan. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I'm not the only person that thinks he looks like Wolverine. I know it's a different Logan, but
he will play. Yeah.
But
that would be perfect casting. It would.
His hide and his hair is crazy. I'm pretty sure they could do the Wolverine hair with him, no problem.
Yeah. I think, like you're saying, like he's the worst character. I think that's kind of his role. He takes the burden on so that everyone else can thrive, right? He becomes the martyr for everyone else.
Well, that's the thing.
The
character's designed that way, though. He's like, he collects pants. You know what I mean? Like,
and he puts them in the oven. Yeah. And he fucking sleep cooks, so that's a dangerous combination right there.
I mean, like he is strangely into pants. I don't think he was lying when he told Claire that like he was drawing pants in class. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Collect Levi's and stuff. I'm like, so he's a weird little dude. I agree with Richie. He's got to be a pretty weird little dude. You know what I mean? And I think they portray that really well, but at the same time, but yeah, I kind of like that's what I hope for season 3 is they kind of hammer him out and make him at least as likable as everybody else.
Like he gets his shine, right? His time for where he gets his coming up and
redemption.
He finds a place where he fits. That's his problem. Yeah. He doesn't fit anywhere, or at least he doesn't feel that he does. And I think that he just needs to like hit that same gear that Richie did. Like it's funny that he sent Richie there to learn that lesson, but it seems that Army doesn't know that lesson in his own self.
He is his mother's son.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So maybe he'll never find his place because his mother, she'll never find happiness. Like, I mean, so maybe he's too much like his mother, you know?
Yeah.
How tall is he? I'm just wondering how tall is Camry?
Oh, I'm not saying like he's smaller than me. I don't know how tall the actor is. Richie actually used that terminology for him, weird little dude. So I was just quoting.
Weird little dude.
Okay.
He doesn't strike me as very tall. I don't think he's over 6 foot.
No,
I don't think he's Tom Cruise short king style either, though.
I think he's my size, so that's why I'm saying that. I was like, I think he's my size.
Yeah, but I'll second you on that, Johnny, man. I definitely wouldn't hate to see him play Logan. It'd be interesting for sure. I think he's definitely a good enough actor that he could probably pull off. I mean,
and he's been beefing up lately, so
I won't say any role because his role in this is fairly similar to his role in Shameless. So I don't know how much range he has as an actor. He was also in that. He had a small role in that Apple TV one with Julia Roberts.
He's got the wrestling movie coming up too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I want to see that.
With Zac Efron and.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
Oh yes, I saw a still for that. Okay. Yeah.
I mean.
So my final thoughts. I'm with Adrian. Season 1 was fantastic, but I mean that season set the tone, right? That set everything up. And I can see like my favorite episode was episode 6, the fish episode, by far the best episode of both seasons. I echo that sentiment wholeheartedly. And you know, the second season, I don't think it would get repetitive, right? If we just kept repeating like the exact same formula as the first one. So like Juan said, it's nice to have those little side stories where he goes off to Europe to study pastries. You have Sydney going off on her own, going to all these different places, trying food. Then they kind of gave Carmi that little love story, you know, just to change it up, you know, like spice it up a bit, you know, change the recipe, you know, like so. I'm definitely down for a third season for sure, without a doubt, and we'll see. Depending on the third season, we'll see if maybe it warrants more, if it should end there. But I mean, the sooner the better. I mean, but I don't think it's going to happen because of the strikes. We might even have to wait a long time, maybe 2 years, before we see another new episode of The Bear. So
or anything.
We have a lot of reading to do now, since there won't be any more new shows coming out. So we have no excuse.
That's true.
There we go.
So, man, I can't recommend this show enough to anyone. If I mean, and I think it has great representation. I mean, it's a fantastic cast representation. I mean, you got a little bit of everything in there.
Tina looks like my mom. Tina looks like my mom. Seriously, looks like shit. They can grab her off the screen like show.
So I think there's a little bit of something for someone to relate to in this show for whatever walk of life you're from. I think there's something in there for everyone. So, and go check it out. It's great acting, great story. I mean, like we said, half-hour episodes, so it's not a slog. Like, you can get through it pretty quick. The pacing's excellent. I mean, like we said, there's not really anything negative you can say about this show. So go check it out if you haven't, which I doubt. I think probably almost everyone's seen it by now, because I mean, everybody loves it. So
if you're not, you're off.
I'm trying. I'm gonna finish it.
If you're not, you're a total stroke.
Oh yeah. So I just want to thank everyone for showing up for the episode. It was a blast having you guys on
Thank you
and
too.
talking about a great show. I mean, it's just easy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So thanks again, everyone, for showing up and hanging out with us. And yeah, so that's all I've got to say, man. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And if you don't have plans, you know what you got to do. Go watch The Bear.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Ninja Turtles.
Or
Not
both.
today.
Take it easy, y'all.
Have a great